run that video real quick before the end. You said you emailed it. Is it a way you could text it to me, or because I'm not seeing it and I don't know what's going on with my stuff right now.
I believe so. Hold on just a
Okay,
second.
no worries, no worries.
No
Gotcha.
worries at all.
Yeah, and so let me
So the
see.
video is of Jesse Cedillo. It shows the body cam footage. This is Nicholas's top number one priority until we get a grand jury investigation. It's what he spends most of his time on. So it's super important to him.
And that's what, well, since we're here too, and that's what I'm wanted to right now. I mean, come on, this is your platform, and go all in on what's important to him now, and
Tell them why, what made it so important to you. Like,
so what it was like Elijah McClain's story, just instead of overdosing him, they used an even more inhumane way of killing him. So he stole a car, and he was hiding under a car, and he came out from under the car and started running.
Okay.
The police officers, so there were Jeffrey Alfonso, the police officer that ended up killing him, was waiting around a corner. Jesse Cedillo was running. He turned around the corner, bumped into the police officer, Jeffrey Alfonso, and Jeffrey Alfonso shot him in his leg, disabled him, and ended up shooting 15 more rounds into him.
Oh my God.
But it's for 8 entering his chest.
Tell him about how it scares you that you can't make a mistake. That's why
he was killed. He made a human mistake. He was drunk out partying. There's some people I know that are really good friends with Jesse Cedillo, and he was drunk out partying, and he had stole a car, and he got out of the car, started running and hiding, and he hit the corner and then got killed.
Wow.
It trips me out that we put more value on people's possessions, because there's a lot of people that's like, well, he shouldn't have stole a car. Well, so the car is worth more than this child's life. Like,
yeah, that's
it's
crazy.
really scary that my kid can't make a mistake, not die.
Yeah, Self Love and I, we're big on that. We talk about that exact same thing, Amber. Is
yes.
It's been many a time, it's like, why do you want to harm someone over this material replaceable stuff? Give it up, so to speak. And then also, so I know you're as inmates rights activist. So can you kind of speak on that?
Yes. So I advocate for nonviolent drug crimes. So like Tamika Drummer, who just got my granddad out of prison. He was serving a life sentence. Tamika Drummer serving a life sentence, and also wrongly accused people like Orlando Fields. Also Lance Glore. He's nonviolent drug offense, and like Orlando Fields, I advocate for him right now because even the witnesses of the murder say that he didn't do it, but they still gave him 220 years in prison because he didn't take a 10-year plea deal because he knew he didn't do it.
What is that called?
Trial penalty.
Right.
Whoa. Did he say 200 years?
220 years as a 15-year-old.
As a 15-year-old who was interrogated without an attorney, he got a trial penalty. His co-defendants received 10-year sentences, and he received 227-year sentence. And he was the youngest out of them. It's just like the Central Park 5. We call it the St. Louis 4. And that's one. We talk to Orlando all the time. When they don't intercept it, they intercept a lot of our emails. When they don't intercept it, we talk to him a lot. Nicholas waits for his phone call. He's a part of our life, a part of our family now. Anybody else that's important?
Lance Glore, Weldon Angelos, Tamika Drummer. I just got my grandpa Red out.
That's great work, man, because those are the forgotten often. And, the nonviolent, I don't know who decided to criminalize, drug abuse, because that's a disease.
Well, it's not really even a drug. It's just classified as a drug because for a drug, you have to put this in, put that in, cook it at a certain amount of heat, and then mix it. But weed is a plant that grows out of the ground.
I mean, I'm trying to keep it PG-11, but hey.
Well, see, that's where Nicholas's activism began. My dad was given a life sentence for marijuana, so he's been like at pot conventions and everything since he was a little kid. Yeah. And it tripped me out because nobody threatened to call CPS on us when my kid is out at pot conventions lobbying for his grandfather. But now that he's at Black Lives Matter conventions, it's called CPS.
Wait, you said somebody got a life sentence for marijuana?
Yeah, so my father, Thomas Landreth is free now. You can look him up, Google his name. He had a de facto life sentence. He was given 20 years for one joint, and he had cancer, which made it a de facto life. He would have died in prison. And we fought for 11 years to get my dad free, and we got him free.
Cancer or no
what
cancer?
A blessing.
Cancer or no cancer. I don't care if he had 100 pounds of weed. Just 20 years just seems, it just seems crazy in America, right? And I don't care if he had cancer. I mean, I don't mean it, like that.
No, yeah, we get what you're saying.
With a joint. It shouldn't matter with a joint. I mean, right?
Especially since he has cancer. I mean,
Right.
Well, personally, we believe that all drugs should be decriminalized, that you should not criminalize a mental illness, that addiction is a mental illness, and we know that. You should not criminalize a mental illness, but that's on the Nicholas has a whole list. We try to knock one off before we go full into the next one, or else they'll have me all over the world.
Well, my thing about criminalizing drugs is who's deciding which ones are criminalized and why, because it's such a gray area, right? It's such a fuzzy gray area, and everything reacts to everybody's body different, and I'm not, look, Little Nick, stay off drugs. Don't do them. They're bad. Drugs bad. You can't.
Well, yeah. Tell him what mom's policy is on drugs.
Okay, so mom
never.
No.
Yes.
And
your mind is everything, right?
Yeah, and then mom also thinks that football is really, really, really bad, and she wants me to switch to a safer sport, which is tennis or something, but you can get hit in the head with the tennis ball.
I want him to protect that brain, y'all.
Tennis ball.
He's a genius. Yes.
You ought to think about being an attorney as well, little Nick.
He's very good at arguing. He has good points. Yes, he does. But I thought he was I give him a spiel about drugs all the time, that it doesn't matter how old you are, that if you have a brain like this, you can't ever damage it. So no drugs.
No, none. And it's just, about legalizing. I just wonder what, who's making these, because sugar is a drug,
man.
I did my thesis paper on that. Sugar absolutely makes your brain act just like heroin or crack cocaine.
Worse. Yeah. They've studied it with rats, and the rats went to the sugar before they went to the cocaine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They tested the rats. So
yeah, that's absolutely crazy.
Well, I know I promised you I wouldn't do this too long. We got some things, and I promise you just 10 minutes. We're at the end. I know you need to go study, man, Mr. 3Fs. All right.
Yes.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want.
He actually has tutoring right after this. Shout out to Black Parents of Denver. Yeah. Black Parents of Denver are providing tutoring.
Don't stress out. Challenge yourself academically. It's not a stress thing. Your brain is a muscle. It's the most important muscle in your body. And so as your brain improves, you're going to find different ways. You're going to say, man, I can go to Google. I can go to, like Big Nick was telling you, I can go to YouTube and how to do the hand move or whatever y'all was talking about. And you start processing. But now as this brain gets stronger and stronger and more effective, now your body, your heart, and everything else is going to be in better shape.
Hey, and these reasons that you give for not doing well, change your mind about them. I know you'd rather not do it, but change your mind about it. Shift your energy towards it. Don't let it be a border, a problem for you. You
A
know what I mean?
crucible. Yeah.
Eliminate that, because now I see you when you were talking about it, everything you were saying was negativity about those activities. All right. Eliminate the negativity towards those activities and just do it. Just get it done. You got
Facts.
this, and you're built for this.
Facts.
Just get it done.
Facts. Yeah, it's just going to be another way you're learning to learn, and that's just going to expand your brain. Any family quotes, scriptures, words of wisdom that you hang your hat on, that you'd like to share?
I just went great at school yesterday. It was a Frederick Douglass quote.
My favorite one is that it's a man's obligation to break a bad law.
Okay, so it's Albert Einstein's quote. It's if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid.
Oh, wow.
That's labeling theory right there. I got a psychologist.
Wow.
That's super dope.
That is great. Lil Nick, recommend a book